I mean, it was a wild first map, and it was wild. It was so. I mean, look. Split was cool, but now we go to Ascent, and, you know, we saw the Sage come out from Conti before. Might not work again this time.
Yeah, I gotta say, maybe it's just because we didn't get to see it enough, but I'm a little disappointed by how Conti Sage got used in Split. Thinking Man definitely played around it really well, though. Their ability to initiate just wherever the problem wasn't, whether that was a barrier, whether that was a smoke, they just slowed down a little bit whenever they had to, and that's really all that they had to do. But on Ascent, that doesn't necessarily work because mid, it doesn't, you know, flow as much to you. You can't necessarily have those close quarters on site that much. There's a lot more to do, and like you said, Conti Sage is still very much up in the air, but so is this entire comp from Resonate, for that matter. In fact, so is Thinking Men's, honestly, because they also changed their composition for the last week that they played Ascent too. So who knows what we're doing, man.
It's interesting, right? Because through their run in Challengers so far, Thinking Men have never won this map. They've played it twice. It's their second most banned map. Never won it. So they try to avoid this map as much as possible. The fact that they've let it through and have this map in the veto tells me, again, this is another confidence play coming out from the team.
I mean, confidence definitely is a big factor coming into this match. I mean, you know, on a base level, you're talking about a team that just came from Challengers, that arguably isn't even the 9th or 10th worst team in that league, playing against a team that has never made it to, I think, even a finals in a Knight's Gauntlet, did not make it through, I think, top 8 in the open qualifier, and also didn't win all of their games in Premier either, which Blinn did. By the way, Blinn is up 1-0 against Glazers on the other side of this bracket. Go check out the other game on Knights Arena on Twitch in a separate tab if you have an extra tab. But that confidence from Thinking Men, just whenever they actually press that button, pull that trigger, it has been so instant, so above. And on Ascent, while the tempo is definitely a little more like running, you know, one and done or sink or swim, I think that confidence is still going to bleed through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a team where you need to have those early flash plays. First bloods are important for both of these teams to start off the tempo of the round. We saw Paint do that so many different times, regardless of the side last map. But there are comp differences from both teams that we should be noting, right? So we saw where we mentioned Conti on the Sage, that's different. But also a lot of the time, well, I suppose just the last time we saw Thinking Men, they started running the Sky instead of a KO. And while you still have those great flashes that can find information, it does promote your Jet to be able to push those aggressive sight lines and, defensively speaking, get that opening op shot to really convert around.
Yeah, opening op shots, my goodness. What a tale of the tape that was. 5 first bloods for Paint. And on the other side of that, I mean, most of the first blood's going to Kaho here for Resonate. Andrew couldn't really open things up. KHS didn't get to buy guns too many times. The Bladestorm was looking really solid, so I'm excited to see if they're able to make any more ground up. But Thinking Men, utter domination, really. The mindset, the process, the kills, the aim, they really won that first map, and they're the favorites to take this second one, regardless of their record on Ascent and Resonate's record on Ascent, which, by the way, is pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, through the vetoes that we have so far, Resonate has a really good stat line, but we only really have the premier play-ins to work off of as well. And again, that's a big advantage coming from Resonate. There's not a lot of footage of their gameplay really at all, especially with Kaho on the roster. There hasn't been anything. And so this is a time where we see Thinking Men really adjust in real time, and we saw a beginning of Split, those gears turning, but once they realized that mid was open, A-site wasn't really viable for the team, Thinking Men just found huge big brain strategies to be able to circumvent just about everything that Resonate had against them and made their stall procedure completely null and void.
Yeah. Going to, you know, the place where these guys you know, have to prove that this process has been working. They were in the lab with Funhaver for that win against, you know, Together We Are Terrific. I'm wondering how much more of that they've been doing in this in-between, and, you know, how much they've been experimenting, how much they've been changing, because Split was a point of certainty since MXS. Maps like Ascent and Bind, maps like Sunset, where, you know, the comp may have changed, they may have gotten the win, they may have, you know, gotten, you know, farther against teams like Oxygen or MXS, but that litmus is still not complete, and Resonate will definitely be a great team to kind of test the waters on whatever Thinking Men bring to the table, which they will be starting on defense for. I wonder if that plays a role in what they choose. I don't think it will.
I mean, I think this benefits Resonant quite a bit because you have those early walls to be able to lock down certain parts of line, certain lanes to be able to go on to site, right? A lot of the times, like Fusion, for example, they would be able to run down mid early on in Ascension, wall off the back of mid, take marketplace control, and then flood back into B main as well as the site itself to have full control. But I don't know if we're going to see that from Resonant's side. That's a really readable procedure that may only work for 1 or 2 rounds.
Well, those pockets are what Resonate's looking for first and foremost.
Oh, the return of KO.
They were barely able to find those. Yeah, KO's back for Thinking Men here. That is interesting to see. I like to see it though. I like how Lear's feeling. He's clearly feeling good. I don't think he's going to be as focused as enabling Paint as well. So I think he's feeling less of the pressure for that too. Because Paint's just been able to kind of hold down sightlines anyway, and on Ascent when you definitely aren't going to have any true flashes from this team, then I think he's going to be just fine. I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes with Thinking Men, when they go up a team, even with double info gathering initiators, they'll just wait it out on default, wait for that utility to drop, and leave their enemy team having nothing to work with. Now that there's only a Sova on board, that's going to be pretty easy for Thinking Men to avoid the arrow, the owl drone, and then play their execute, even on the fence from here.
I'm scared of how much Resonate's going to do. But on the attack, it's a little less of a concern. Because they can just not touch mid. If they want to just go for the A-B takes and they want to just play slow off of like T rotations, that's fine with me. That is doable, especially here in Relegation. But can you do it for 12 rounds? Can you do it to where you win the half? Can you do it to where you actually pose this threat against Thingy Men? Because so far, we haven't gotten to really see that yet. We haven't seen a point in which Resonate has really poised themselves above Thinking Men, put themselves in an advantageous position where we say they have this round locked. They have all of the elements that they need to. That has not been reached yet.
Want to make note of the investments into this round. Bellas, double smokes, paranoia to boot. KHS, owl drone, and recon bolt. Well aware that they only have really one info gatherer on their team, at least for the attacking side, to make a lot of different space in terms of information. They have to make sure they use this utility very carefully. Owl drone doesn't spot anything in B main whatsoever. Thinking Men have backed away. They've avoided all sensitive info, but it leaves an empty A site for Resonate to take.
Scrubble Bubble watching behind is able to get KHS, that one lurker, and so now Thinking Men, they understand what the object is just as that spike's getting planted. Resonate, it looks like they want to play for sight more than not. As 2 have already headed up to heaven. They want to take this full scrap. The stack fight initiates and it's Resonate that comes out on top. 3 compared to 2. And so we're even Stevens for the ground game.
Nice and 5.
Andrew and Kaho right next to each other for Anderson to just walk in and grab the last 2. Out of resources, out of space, Thinking Men will take round 1.
Really like what Resonate had done there. Waited out information again. Posed enough time for Thinking Men to think, maybe, okay, we gotta keep rotating. Maybe stack up B-side just in case. Of course, that tech pause always comes out. This is a really good opportunity to talk about Resonate and their aggression. We had seen at the end of Split a very, very slow attacking side from Resonate. They like to go for those explosive executes, and we saw that on Ascent. But the issue, though, is that we were seeing too much respect given to Thinking Men. In Split, Thinking Men could just hold back, allow Resonate to push in, use the util however much they want, then plant, and then they had pretty much nothing except for gunfights to use against Thinking Men. And it seems like on Ascent, it might not be that much different.
They have to use so much to make up for the fact that they don't have a flash.
Yeah, they have paranoia,
yeah, I mean, you have that. Well, that's why they have to make sure that Resonate or that Thinking Men are so aggressive when they actually do take the fights. They have to find that perfect moment in which everyone's together, and then you just throw everything down. And they did do that a little bit on top. I mean, on Heaven for that site, you don't have a lot of space to throw a lot of util. I mean, there's no proper position for Velas to paranoia from there, obviously. But you can throw a couple angles, and you can play from main. You can play for a little bit of time, even, if Thinking Men try to extend, because if you elongate this fight even a little bit, you can isolate with a smoke or something. But there's just The only way that Resonate can opt for fights right now is if they're like 5v5 wars. And it's doing that even lets them take side at all. And they can't do that with a whole lot of util in the first place.
I think another good question, though, is what's Conti's role in this attack? Are we going to see eventually, once rifles go into Resonate's hands, them lurk more and then have the rest of Resonate group up? It could be a fake, similar to what Thinking Man do with Reformed, but the Sage here definitely throws a wrench into things because I'm just not sure where it's going to fit once we start seeing Thinking Man adapt around when the wall comes out.
Yeah, I mean...
It's tough. It's a tough call.
You can't make Conti a spike mule because then you'll be stuck without slow orbs, and you need those, especially if you can't really start fights yourself and you still want to be aggressive. And so you have to save Conti for post plant. So where are you going to stick your barrier? Probably a little earlier in sight to go against flanks. And so literally all I'm thinking about right now is that Conti's just going to put a barrier on door, on tree door, and that's like it. That's all I can think about right now.
Yeah, and even then, just a simple smoke.
Blocking off for post plant, and then yeah, you can just shoot that down or smoke it out.
Interesting call here.
I have no idea.
Is this a lurking omen? Velos. Okay, I think I see the plan. So Velos should be smoking deep mid, full fast tree split push, maybe in the A site. That means you have to contest pain very early on, and they already had that judge like they did at the end of split.
Cat though. Oh, immediately running into orb, and Kaho fakes it before checking if one's there through the one way. Scrubble bubble is there, but KHS can refrag, so we'll continue this little do-si-do a little bit until Anderson gets tired of it, realizes that there's a little too much that may be staring him down. And again, it's because Resonate, they need to stack their resources if they want to make it work, and so if thinking then they can read that in any position in which they're isolated and they have like 2 seconds to move, then they can just move too. There are such little windows in which Resonate gets to act with advantage, and they are just not able to take them right now.
Oh, 2 judges. Lear with 1.
That's 2.
Spike down A.
Let's see it, buddy.
1 enemy remaining.
Come on. Jump in. Get in there.
I have the
Ooh,
spike.
okay. Let's go. Paranoia, by the way. Smoking 5. What do you got?
Could pick up the judge here.
You've confirmed 1, maybe?
No information. Doesn't know about Scrubble Bubble. Has a vague idea from the main contact earlier against the KJ.
Yeah, he doesn't know if he's gone all the way back through main yet, but I mean, he has though, so.
He's got a plan.
Taps this.
He's a little bit of money.
So much space to watch, dude. And the smoke isn't thrown down either. Yeah, no way. Absolutely not. That's probably what Thinking Men are gonna say for these next 12 rounds if they have their way. They get to deny so easily so far.
I mean, we can't count Resonate out just yet, though, because I feel like they're a team that really activates once they get those rifles, and they can snowball those rounds. We said the same thing on Split. They started to get something going, but when Thinking Men made that major adaptation of avoiding all of the Sentinel util, then things kind of fell apart and never really recovered. But this is the round, though, for Resonate. Very important for them to stay in the upper bracket. If they lose out here, they face elimination. Andrew's early on. Look at Reform, though. Confidence play with the judge.
This is just to grab some scraps, but can't find the early kill. Quick 5v4 for Resonate. They'll close door as well. Enough time and space to take over site, block everything off, set up a smoke or 2. Hey, we're living a little lavish right now. Just in time for Thinking Men to go for the fast execute retake. Kaho's already holding lane though, and he's not backing down until Scrubble Bubble holds the off angle, but at the same time, there's just too much in the way. Resonate, they can stack the way they want to now that they've got Spike down, and they'll use it to take the bonus with 4 guns to spare.
Yeah, near flawless there from Resonate. A great take as well. Fast and with confidence is the number one thing from Resonate now. They often fall into this trap where they're giving too much respect again to Thinking Men. They cannot do that. If they just rush in, play as a gigantic unit, they have so much more chances for success. And here we go with a split push once more. The opposite of that. So this is going to be important here for the default. No snipers in the hands of Paint just yet. Playing far dialed back now for the trade out against Marketplace. Great paranoia early on.
That's a bold paranoia. And now you don't have it for the rest of the round. I mean, yeah, that does actually get rid of the nades there. That's good. But it doesn't swing anybody from a site where Lear is waiting and is able to take down 3. Wow. Obs came in clutch for that one. Jeez, that was crazy. Paint's now going to hold down Courtyard and isn't even going to stick around for Velis to approach. It's not worth his time. Rather, we'll just watch Spike here, which Thinking Men have in their grasp. Resonate. An early bait to try to get more weight over to B site is just not going to happen here. Thinking Men, they're more than willing to play for that post plant, and they don't have to this time around because Spike's right here. And so is Scrubble Bubble. Thinking Men traded out 3-1.
Yeah, at that point, Velis fully well knows that, okay, I'm not going to be able to win this round, but I'm going to take as many bodies with me as I possibly can. And a few 1v1s did come through, which was good, but not enough to hurt the economy of Thinking Men at all. But now we do get to see a reinvestment, though. A little bit of a weird buy coming from Velis. The only best they can do is that light shield stinger, and everyone else is littering light shields too. This is an important round. This is somewhat of a swing round in the hands of Resonate. If they convert this, Thinking Men, their buys won't be perfect either into the next. But if Resonate loses this one out too, that means they're going to have to go back down to Sheriffs once more.
Nice knife.
Oh no. What is this?
Here.
A little bit aggressive.
I think that's audio too from Paint, hearing the spawn rotate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Huge. You're just
look at this rotate.
This. Yeah, Thinking Men are so happy to just watch this now. I mean, they're right there. They have to check this. What do you check this with? Paranoia? Smoke? Nothing? Velis just walks in. And now everybody's watching, but there's too many people, so nobody can really hold the fight. Everybody falls. And Lear now also holding early, can only get one for himself too. Once again, overconfidence from Thinking Men and how much each player can do. And Resonate stick together enough to make all of those fights very easy for themselves. They'll grab a second round.
Absolutely, and Thinking Men, they've struggled all throughout Challengers getting individual trades in moments like this. Resonate, though, if they play together, they have the perfect lines of sight to be able to confirm those trades. And like you mentioned, too, overconfidence came from Thinking Men. I mean, it's a simple fix for them at the very least. They just have to dial it back. Dialing back worked really well. Lear got a 3K just a few rounds ago doing that.
Yeah, just play Cat at that point, and then just rotate for post plant. You'll grab a free kill, and then you can push again.
Oh, this is nice, though. Leaving A site completely empty. For the retake, Lear has no command to work off of. Odin in the hands of Vix as well. This will be huge through the smoke as soon as they hear any audio about the entry.
Well, it's got to be in the next 3 seconds with that lockdown procking. And Resonate, they'll act on it quick.
Oh, that's an interesting wall.
Here. Yeah, this is a fun extension here for Conti. I do like this, actually. Able to play above that smoke, offer a second angle to play with. And it's very obvious, too. So Thinking Men, they're walking in and trying to, like, clock that. But they can't fully because you can just walk off of it, too. Don't care, though. Entry's still working without a hitch. Paint's knives are pretty on target right now, too. Conti's spraying through the smokes to get rid of Paint, but that's all he can do. So Thinking Men, they have enough in the tank to be able to take it back and grab their fourth.
It's a tough ask, too. Looking from the angle, I think Conti would have been able to go for the post plant strike from there. I think it was planted for him. I'm just worried that if they were defusing from the left side, I don't know if Conti would have an angle. I think he would have, but it would have been a very tight one.
Yeah.
Okay, well now, Ultimate's in the hands of Resonate. They do have Hunter's Fury, and given that they like to play fast at times on the B execute, they can absolutely use this early on to create some space. Plus, they're able to do so and play really fast. Conti has that Resurrect as that get out of jail free card into this next round. All they have to do, though, is avoid this flash from Lear.
All right, Tahoe will not. Given away with the turret, but you can't push off of that. Can you, Paint? No. You can. Right? No.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Reformed on the run here is, Resonate, this is their go button. This is the time to act, and they will. This is looking great so far. Conti, the classic wall.
Oh my God, no way.
Counter that. Nice shot, man. That was good. Now looking through lane. Velis hunting them down. Sights opened up, but with not nearly as much collateral as before. Only the fact that you're in a 4v1. Vix doesn't take this. Yeah, you gotta save at this stage if you're Thinking Men. The game's far too close. And again, fast acting, counter aggression on those who decided to ISO and extend, and you got an easy round on your hands if you're Resonate.
Yeah, a lot of proactivity coming out. That's exactly what we wanted on Split. Didn't get to see a whole lot of it, though. If we had seen a more overconfident, maybe bigger scoreline from Thinking Men's side, Vix easily could have gone for this retake just to bait out ultimates. That Hunter's Fury is way too valuable for KHS, but you know, so is the Odin.
Yeah, if only it was 12-2, and then Resonate would have done.
Honestly, I
better.
think this could be a much closer map. If Resonate
It will be.
Yeah, if they keep playing into this very aggressive play style, this will be huge for them. All it takes now is Vix to post up on lane, bring out that early Odin spray through the wall, and that might shut down Resonate. All they have to do, though, is find a good key to success on A site, and I feel like they're golden for this half. They only need one more round, I would say, in order to convert things to a healthy half for themselves.
Yeah.
They can go for a timeout here. This is interesting. They're thinking of how they can funnel their Resonate over to A site. It's a site that they haven't been able to win yet. And Thinking Men, they keep giving up and losing B too easily, despite the fact that it takes a while for Resonate to find that space directly onto a site. And I personally think it has to do with Vix. You have to bring that Odin to B site. You can't have any more funny business.
Yeah, you have to start playing some North American Ascent Valorant, I think. Lear needs to, or sorry, no, not Lear. Vix needs to hang out on B site, and you just need to stop playing so far down main. I get it, when you have flashes and your opponents only have paranoia, it's really tempting to go into such like a tunnel and go buck wild, especially if your paint, especially if working off of either Vix or Lear's flashes are like your go-to for your team winning. But Resonate have so much more space to play with from spawn. They feel a lot safer on T sides. So they're going to play for those sites. They're going to play for those punishes a lot more actively than they normally would on split, in which they may feel a little too condensed to do so as often, especially with how high they're playing right now. Like,
yeah,
again, this is the highest level that Resonate has gotten to so far.
That's true. Timing now. Vix, off the call of the Tura, really good for the spray down. Does ISO the Jet, but they group up back together. Keep in mind, for ultimates Resonate, they can easily take B-side control.
Flown over. Andrew's inside and has gotten his as well. So that should be the work done for Resonate. This should be done and dusted here. Thinking Men, all they have really is Vix with this Odin from an okay position, but gonna abandon post and just go for the save again. Yeah, you really can't re-enter at that stage. You've lost, I mean, you've lost your KJ.
Yeah, that's so hard for the stall here, and the Odin didn't have nearly as much impact as Thinking Men thought it would.
Yeah.
And what, they baited out an ultimate? It's not the best thing in the world here. And I think the onus now comes to Thinking Men. They have to play proactive on B main. Yeah. They have to shove that Odin early on.
I guess
and the only time we really saw that was Reformed with the Judge, and that didn't find any impact either. Resonate's finding a lot of confidence here. And remember too, Thinking Men, they've only played this map twice so far in the split of Challengers. They've lost it twice. They struggle so much on this defensive side, and they are having a hard time adapting around effectively. And they've already used one timeout. Can't talk to the coach again anytime soon, hopefully.
Lear is still going to go for this shotgun. Yeah, Thinking Men, they're going to buy into this again. And they are now going to post 3 at B. And they're going to have Lear hold far back on mid. I like this mix of tempo.
Oh, there we go.
Huge tuck for Resonate that Pain is able to recognize early on. So, no punish just yet. But a lot of util burn from Thinking Men. Now the Hunter's Fury going it out from Vix. This is so interesting. But it will grab absolutely nothing, including any damage onto Vix, who can just head back to backside. Yeah, you don't clear anything here. Lane is still up and running for TM. And so B seems very scary at this point. Thinking, man, they have not been goated as they were before.
Oh.
And they still grab that info.
This is cool, though. Bringing out the Hunter's Fury and cutting noise completely. Thinking, men, think a little bit at least. There might be that rotate over to A site. Completely empty, though. Not even the knife will find anything on the corner. Bit of confusion there. Not many people over-rotate from Thinking Men's side, especially Reformed. It's the hunt back to B site. Resonate may have miscalculated this.
There's one. And
30 seconds
now
left.
it's just gotta happen. You've just got to go for that proc.
Oh.
Paint looking out. Andrew, too much to stare at. There's no clear entry for him onto lane this time around. And now Paint can hold logs as long as he wants to. Doesn't matter if he's clear, doesn't matter if he's found out. There's just too much here for Thinking Men.
10 seconds left.
No time even to play, and so instead we'll just peek out into Oblivion. Thinking Men finally get their act together on B site.
I'll have to see what this word, man. Renaissance. Resonate. What will they do from here?
We're running down all the chat after this, bro.
Yep.
We all gotta get like a seminar going. Okay, so this is Resonate. These are the 5 players of Resonate.
No, okay, so what does Resonate do from here? They can stack up B once again, but now that it seems like Thinking Men have the answer, they can go for the same strats again. They're focusing on mid this time. This knife from Lear will be gigantic. But it only finds one. That's just Kaho. And every KJ plays there. That's not indicative of an A or B side push. But mid's completely empty. And this could be devastating. Not a single person's watching contact angles on mid. Maybe Marketplace. Leader could be exposed. Oh, the jump peak, though, should give away the plot.
We've been watching this far too early. There's the barrier, so Lear is going to be ready for this. Extremely ready. Paranoia into main, Paint the opener, and Lear is unchecked. Res onto Andrew, it matters not. Everyone is still stopped. Lear up to 3 now, and the rest of the team don't even ask. Thinking Men making 6.
Huge psychological factors again, just shutting down B main. Resonate is so nervous to push into B main yet again. It's been the only working factor for them on this attack. And eventually they'll have to try A side again. They can't just ignore it. And this might be the round where they try. But guess what? Reform's already set up and ready. Paint now too with the operator B main. They're hoping they can just drive all that energy back over to A side, where the lockdown can certainly come through.
Get out of my way!
Revealing area. There they
Big
are.
presence. Thinking Men paying a lot more attention to it already this time around. Smoked out catwalk. So Resonate have to make a choice at the very beginning here. It'll be some presence up court. Velis once again, the one to lead the charge.
Oh, this is tough though. Tree may seem empty. There is that shock bolt presence, but also look at this, the turret way on the other side of A main. That's gonna spot out the Omen.
There it is. Velis, the healing orb has to be spent on him. Vix after the paranoia. The spray comes through. But there's many ways to enter, and Resonate has found another. Andrew is up in heaven, and Kaho is planting Hunter's Fury to deny, but Reform can't watch behind him. Now Vix gonna get swarmed by Andrew's knives. Andrew finding a 4th, can't find the last. Has the Sheriff out against the shorty from Paint. Nobody finding the shots until Andrew finalizes his ace for Resonate's 5th round.
Holy, that was the messiest final kill I've seen, but I mean, that was great. Andrew, that might be the confidence booster needed now. This is a much more competitive game than we've seen on Split. And a lot of it's just down to the struggles of Thinking Men. A lot of open areas exploitable from Andrew. That's absolutely gigantic. And now there has to be a complete lockdown from Thinking Men's side. They cannot allow any space to be created, but they can't even do it proactively. Resonate is ignoring that proactivity, but they found that confidence on A yet again. This will be tough though. One-way setup, Paint still with the operator, reinvestment. Conti the same. And upping Sage. Okay.
Hey, you gotta find something for him to do.
I suppose. Usually that's the KJ's job though.
Yeah.
But Conti is essentially a second duelist.
Oh man, with the Owl Drone too. Vix can do a lot of that work. Firing back. So once again, your other channel denied, and so much time gone, 2 members' positions given away, and yet Thinking Men doesn't rotate. They just shift the weight over to mid a little bit, because you got this KJ util just chilling on B, and now you know it can't get cleared.
There's that slow trickle rotate back over. Oh, the knife, it sells it. That's all you needed. Great timing there from Lear.
All right, well,
Only 1 kill off 2 from Null Command. That alongside the lockdown completely suppressing A. That's be devastating.
Doesn't stop the traditional entry from Andrew and Velis, who will both get inside.
30 seconds left.
Door's gonna get hit too. Lear and Andrew staring each other down. Lockdown almost immediately after. This is the fight that Lear was waiting for, and Lear is gonna take it. 2 gone! And the rest of Thinking Men will swarm the site just as quickly. It is over as quickly as it began. Conti, now an hopping stage for the ages. Only one, and Thinking Men will guarantee the lead this half.
I really like what they had done on the attacking side, because what you could do is that you were just baiting out that information yet again. You know what the 3 most important factors are on Ascent is. You have to wait for the op, wait out for the Odin, and wait out all the info gathering utility. Resonate, they just had the backup. Wait, play the rotate game. Thinking Men, sure, they don't over-rotate nearly as much, but they can be caught out by surprise. They do give up a lot of site control, and that can be nerve-wracking when it comes to the retakes. But now that the sides swap Thinking Men, I think all eyes have to be on Paint. He's going to go in ultra-aggressive. You know he wants revenge against Andrew after that ace.
But it was so good. It's so good to see Andrew getting a good amount of damage in.
Yeah.
Because that's something that we were really waiting for this matchup. Andrew, I think, was doing like 175 damage a round in the tournament, in the play-in. He was destroying on that duelist. And I can't wait to see some more of it, but Resonate, they have 6 rounds of fodder to do it.
Paint has no opposition here whatsoever. A lot of times people will fake this mid-pressure control and then go back to tree, but no, they're going straight into spawn.
KHS, watching it, is able to get 1 before countered. But, I mean, Thinking Men, they've kind of given away the plot at this point, so it comes to when does Resonate want to take the fight? Kaho says, not just yet, there's way too much coming at me at once. Paranoia thrown in, but Kaho's still able to find his. Conti not checked, Resonate's A defense is just not pulled apart at all. Coming from CT, it is difficult to do so. But this is what Vix's flank has been all about, and he's able to find at least 2. But there's still 2 more in his way, including Andrew on this Sheriff, and Spike in such a precarious spot. 45 seconds to go, though. You can take a little journey.
It's winnable. Farming up the orbs, too. The quicker you get that Hunter's Fury. Cutting noise, too. Not nearly enough time for the reset.
Scanning ahead.
30 seconds left.
Now or never. One shock bolt they'll use. Looking for the fights. Individual 1v1s. Tradability might be more difficult here.
Shock dart.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, good timing. Really good timing, but still not enough. Really impossible to win those fights, but Vix keeps it nice and close. Resonate now up to 6, and that hold was just so solid. Just a great amount of space retaken up by Conti to hold back door. There's just not a great opening to come from CT when you're just on pistols as well, especially when you have no time to tree entry, and Vix is still on the way from main right now. It was just a little bit too messy.
Thinking Men here, though. Gonna go for their rifle default. Nothing but pistols, though. They did buy up a lot of utility, however. They're looking to take away guns here against Resonate. It's a good start. Conti's discovered. But Conti has this free permission to do pretty much whatever he wants here. He's just a sage. All he has to do is heal people, slow down where they think the execute may be, and just cut off a lot of this different spacing. But otherwise, he's got free. Wow, what a great opening pick there. Smoke's now gone. Paint's there for the drawback. Conti's gone. That's A-side control, however. There's plenty of utility, though, to bounce back from Resonate's side. Arrow. Shock bolt. Great for the stall. No spike down just yet.
Oh, Resonate's playing this early.
One enemy remaining.
Good reason, too. They don't want any setup. They won't get any. Again, very par for the course here. And this is, see, this is fun. This is nice. Get some nice time to just inspect that Sentinel bundle. Yeah, that's a Sentinel bundle.
Well, it's a great time, too, for Thinking Men to think, okay, how do we want to accomplish this attacking half? Resonate, much more competitive than they were on Split.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a map that everyone knows how to play, too. Split could be one of those more, not even necessarily a niche map, but it hasn't been nearly as solved as Ascent has. And given the fact that we're not seeing Thinking Men bring out that Sky, some sort of change to mess up the strats against Resonate, Resonate has seen this so many different times that they could play this map in their sleep, let alone with the Sage to mess things up for Thinking Men. So now the onus is on them to re-innovate here. 3-stack outside mid now. Big rush from Resonate's side. They're looking to take all those bodies down again, retake for B-site.
But with no bodies there, it's tough to do so. And the one way will actually help out KHS before it helps Paint. So Thinking Men have not fully cleared this out, and with so many people still trying to flesh out mid, it is too dangerous to do so. Resonate clear out 2 before this fight even starts, which everyone on Resonate is here for, exactly how they've been winning them. Oh, but Velis gives himself away a little too early. Market is re-cleared, now 2 in there to fight this out. But the barrier orb is gonna help them get there free of charge, except for Andrew, who steps out into that fray. So now a 2v3 for the post plant. Conti stick around that wall just to keep it interesting, and KHS should have a free line onto Spike indeed with 2 watching Market. Resonate's able to make it easy. 3 stand for the bonus round, which they will take as well as the lead.
And a diagonal wall cutting off a pivotal main lane was exactly, that's exactly what I wanted out of the attacking side of Resonate. And it never really came. But bringing it out now, shutting down entire gunfights, and a click of a button for Resonate changes the battlefield post-plant so much. And Thinking Men, once again, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a timeout either this round or into the next. They really have to dive deep here to get past not even just Conti's walls, but the way it affects the rest of the teams and how they operate themselves now. Outlaw for Andrew looking for this early jump peek. May try to find it off the hands of the smoke. Instead the smoke goes down, Scrubble Bubble uses his opportunity to push up in the mid in tree. And there's that wall. It's designed to funnel Thinking Men if they want to push that far deep into that alarm bot. But look at this though, no spike found just yet. This is a broken by default from Thinking Men. They want to remove guns, take that opening pick, and find a way to move from there. This is a team, both teams really, fishing for these first bloods so much more.
Yeah, this is a fun game of chicken that both these teams are playing right now. Neither buckling. I mean, this is all things considered a bit of a weird position for Andrew to take, but I love it. It's that midway of aggression and stability. But if Market gets opened up and Thinking Men act quickly enough, then this will be decided. Especially if Andrew can't even win that opening fight. KHS going to get rid of that first, but it's down to Kaho, who tries to get fished out by this Hunter's Fury. Scrubble Bubble catching Conti. A little bit off guard here. Velis not able to finish. Never mind. TP does not dodge. Thinking Men still not on site just yet, but they're about to fix that. 1 on lane. They don't understand how far in Lear is either, and I don't think they hear that drop. Boathouse peeks out just in time to get shot at. Kaho does the same. Resonate, hold on for a 9th.
And Resonate now are just playing the patience game once again. Waiting for an opportunity for Thinking Men to overextend themselves. Economics for Thinking Men have not been looking good, considering the fact they haven't won an attacking round yet. They've struggled on this map in the past, and they're struggling now. And we thought the Odin was bad before, now there's an Odin and an Operator. That's gonna be huge. And what's interesting is that it's actually gonna go to Kaho, not gonna go into the hands of KHS. The reasoning, though, is that KHS has something more powerful, the Hunter's Fury for mid. And that's a great way of shutting down mid site as soon as that alarm bot gets tripped. Great wall coming up here. And if you're not used to playing against a Sage wall in a competitive setting like this, you're not expecting Andrew to have that line of sight.
Yeah, just another angle to watch out for. That Thinking Men really don't want to deal with this late in the game. KHS is going to proc this Hunter's Fury early and get very rewarded for it. A lot of early damage. And Andrew, that LOS will finally pay off as well. Resonate just constantly cashing in on this map knowledge, on this ability to move around with a little more leisure, thanks to the help of that Sage barrier, which Conti has finally been able to put to good use here this series.
Oh, but look at this though. Resonate giving up B-side completely. They want that plant to go down. They don't care if any ultimates come afterwards. Lear's close, but they're stacking him completely for the retake. Odin, 2v5 to worry about. I mean, Thinking Men have to pull heroics here to get this round.
Oh, and Lear already found out as well. It's just a question of where Vix is, and there's not too many places that he can be. It's either going to be Boathouse or main, and brother, it's main. Vix already found out with the forced recon bolt, but able to deal with Velis. That being said, there's a little too much in his way to be able to fight this spike defuse, and so Resonate going to get it that without a scratch and get to double digits here. Such an impressive defense so far from them.
Yeah, again, the basis of it is just the patience. We're not seeing any overcommitments. We're not seeing any ego plays, I should say, coming out from Resonate. They're taking their time. They're playing as a team. The confidence is there, but they're playing it slow and allowing the advantages to be completely in their own. And Thinking Man, again, this is something they've struggled with all of Challengers. A perfect highlight about why they're in relegation. You know, they have the right ideas as a team, but the execution, the individual plays have struggled a lot. Whether it be repositioning, the trades, holding out for your teammates, utility usage. These are all very competent and well-established players. And the chemistry is there. But when they have to shoot back, oftentimes they lose those 50-50s. This is not just a restrat plan. This is to calm the team down. Make sure their head's still in the game. They do not want to go to map 3. And this is the timeout to ensure that they don't. But they have to get 3 more in a row. And not only that, they have to win their very first attacking round.
A lot of pressure on this next round. The cycle is kind of the only thing that they have going for them to save themselves in the late stages here. But if they do not win this round, then there is not a lot that they can do to keep Resonate from getting to 13 before they can really act more. We'll see how much space this first split push generates. No mid presence at all just yet, and a lot of the reason, again, is that barrier. There's just not a huge point unless you're gonna, try and trollops into market, and even then, that's uncertain.
Yeah, it's not like Split where you can just break the wall in mid immediately and then have free mid control. That's going to be a hard wall in of itself to break, but just a small little area like Tree promotes the funnel towards A site, and all the while a 3-stack from Resonate on B makes them want to rotate away from the wall. Thinking Men, if they execute B here, they're playing directly into Resonate's hands. And that's a tough call to make. Owldrone comes out, does not find any info other than the wall. They haven't even seen the the Omen back site, or at least back of mid. They're locked out again.
It looks like they're trying to signal Velis a little bit to maybe pull more presence to mid, or at least give the impression that they're pushing mid, so that maybe when they expect the main push, they don't expect as much weight from it. They don't, invest everything.
It's tough, because this is going to be a B exec from Thinking Men.
Yeah.
But Velis only puts that smoke down because there's just been nothing. They think it's going to be a lurk play, a split push into A site. This is the execute. This one matters from Thinking Men. Very
fast. On top of the null command, it needs to be thrown into Boathouse. Kaho watching 2 sidelines at once. It doesn't even matter. He can get 2. Downing Lear. No time to res. There is 10 seconds on the board. Paint can get the kill. Paint can get the spike. Paint cannot get Lear up. Has to fight this out against 3 and just can't. Defiance.
Locked out.
Yeah, this is just utter destruction on B site, which seems like the only option here that Resonate has crafted. 6 in a row now for them.
The win condition was out. Waiting till the very last second, Lear brings out null command, rushes in. Hopefully disables all that KJ util. But you can't disable an Odin. That's the hardest part here too, is that it's not necessarily even the utility that's stopping Thinking Men. It's just an op and an Odin, really. A site is empty. Great retake strat potentially from Resonate. Op shot though from Andrew does not connect. But Paint's just gonna rush in. He's angry. This is an anger play.
Just scrolling through the alarm bot. Yeah, he doesn't give a care, and Conti's gonna punish that after the op misses. Andrew was looking for it, and he almost found it.
It was a good distraction though for A-side. That was the plan too. Paint needed to let off some steam, but look at this now. Full A-side control. Lockdown in play. Buy some time and some space, but not for Heaven.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, this is more for tree control, actually, which I like because it forces Resonate's lockdown to be farther back as well. You're able to play for main far more safely than just huddling up into either side of the archway.
Only one.
Yeah, your re-entry is a little tough here too. for Resonate, but if Kaho... Oh, man, and Vix isn't flank washing. That's a shame. Yeah, that's pretty simple from there. Resonate yet again. Gunfights won. Counters strewn about the map. And denial completed.
Match point.
Thinking men now. They have to play together, but the problem now is, how's the mental? It's draining to not only play Ascent, but also lose it out. And this is Resonate's map pick. This is a map that Thinking Men always bans in regulation. This is their second most banned map. Other than that, it's Breeze. At the very least, the deciding map is one that both teams perform decently well on, but we can see why Thinking Men, they still choose not to play this map. One final hurrah possibly here. Big draw in on B main could be the answer through mid too. Split push potentially. Have to get rid of Andrew's op.
Yeah, how do you challenge this again after flashing? Oh, you TP up, you keep it uncertain. Just barely missing that. And Reformed with the opener through B main as well. Oh, Paint tries to fight Andrew, it's not gonna happen. Still holding onto this operator though, so they need to get up close and personal, but Velis has come in to save the day. Now with that paranoia, the mid presence is what Resonate's gonna have to hold on to this round. Andrew almost taken down by the shock darts. Reform gonna take the fight, finish it off. Velis the trade from back hall as Reform deals with the rest. So a 2v1 for Thinking Men to hold on to this map. And they'll use that time, that advantage to take Spike, plant on site, and force Velis to make a tough call. More than enough creds to not have to save, and more than enough time to reposition, which Velis appears to be doing right now, unless he is saving.
He could look for exits here too. Economy for Thinking Men's not good whatsoever. Even just draining away those weapons could do a lot. And you know, reinvesting the operator for Andrew too is a really good bonus.
Yeah, he's just gonna take op here.
But
right?
Oh, he's looking for the exits. Smart.
Yeah.
But these contact plays are everything for both these teams. We've talked about it before. These first bloods are what both teams are fishing for their win condition.
Don't lose another gun on the way, bro.
Oh. But at least now, the big thing is that Thinking Men are willing to take those contact plays much earlier than before. It happened last map where the issue was you were just giving too much respect for the defense. Now, Thinking Men never really fell into that too much, but when they're faced against an overwhelming enemy, this is where they begin to shut down. A tech pause is needed. A good time to take a breath for everybody. It's just a matter now of reconvening, getting everything together here. Thinking Men's biggest enemy right now could be their mental. They have to keep their spirits up.
Yeah, even that round hurts. Just unable to really carry out every stage of your plan after working split so well. Definitely hurts. But a lot of things going right that round. I think Thinking Men finding the weak points of Resonate a lot more easily and preventing, you know, Conti's util from getting any ground, preventing Kaho from really getting his feet off the ground. And that's it's funny because Resonate was kind of in that position on split before, is kind of ending the fight before it starts.
Here's the thing though.
Doing that here is tough.
There is one major difference with Resonate, other than changing maps, right? Andrew's rocking the operator, but it hasn't found a ton of impact. I mean, we already saw last round this initial challenge from Thinking Men. I was gonna say, if Andrew plays mid once more, this would be a great way to pressure Andrew away for those shots, maybe take him down first and push B. But Andrew's gonna play the Sentinel role this time on A and lock that down. Resonate, I love this change of pace. They're the ones playing aggressive.
Yeah, 3 up through B main. And now it's Reform's turn to see what he can do on the Odin. Absolutely nothing. KH, gorgeous sidestep. Paint counters it before he can retreat though. And with the barrier, oh, Conti.
That's nice.
And dipping back in through the barrier. You can take this fight again if you want to. KHS escapes.
Oh, Paint, don't chase it. Don't chase it, Paint. It's not worth it, Paint. Already down one body. Flank control could very well be an issue the longer this round goes on.
And they know it's mid, because Andrew's been watching A this whole time. They know that the presence, if it's anywhere, it's mid. And all they can do is a little bit of chip.
Oh, they're scrambling. The initial plan has been completely destroyed. This is everyone playing for themselves. There's no tradability mid or A site.
Spike is still sitting T.
Is this a... No, this can't be a save. This is the last round for Resonate.
Yeah, you have to act on this.
40 seconds. Spike is on the other side of the world.
This is painful.
Nanoswarm went through the wall? Okay.
I don't know, man.
Oh, this is it. Split push towards
30
A.
seconds.
The
You
very
got one
last
push.
hurrah. No flashes except for the paranoia from Scrubble.
You get one push here. And it won't be with Kaho. Smoked out. Gotta get this done all at once. Oh, Updraft will bait things out maybe. Andrew watching the wrong way. Lear, good early kill. KHS, Hunter's Fury to attempt to deny. He will get Lear. Last hit onto
10
Spike
seconds
default to do some extra chip, which Vix will sustain. And now he'll be that first body tossed in against this onslaught from Heaven. Couple tough chokes. Turret gonna get released. Shot out before Vix is given away. This is huge if he's unchecked. He is 3.
Shut down. Crossfire enabled. One smoke to work with.
First spray can't do it. And we
A sigh
keep
of relief.
going. This is so intense for so many reasons. And again, we cannot say this enough. Thinking men do not have this figured out at all. This is so, like, by the skin of their teeth, off of so many different whims, and despite so many factors that Resonate are bringing to the table again and again and again. I mean, that first half of the round, it looked over.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, everyone knows how to play and counterplay strats on Ascent. You bring out the default 5, of course. Resonate are going to be able to read this so early on. It puts Thinking Men at a natural disadvantage. But that also means now it comes down to individual prowess, that skill making that Thinking Men have. They have that experience diff over Resonate. Remember, Resonate is a team that virtually no one's ever heard of before, including the players. They beat out a lot of top names in the more amateur scene of Valorant to make their way up here. They're a surprise to everybody. And they have been fighting like crazy here in this series. I've been really enjoying this. They've been putting Thinking Men on their toes. Now, the lay of the land is that mid's completely empty. One deep smoke. Thinking Men may think someone's hiding on the right side corner. Lear can't get that B orb. He needs one kill to get that null command for the entry, and Vix has that Hunter's Fury to boot. If Lear gets this, no! Timing!
They saw Conti too. They totally saw him.
I don't think they did. They would have gone after him.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't know if they did or not. Maybe they didn't. Have they seen KHS as well? I don't even know if it matters. Nobody's even been able to check him. Ooh, too much in the way. Still throwing themselves by. Reformed and Scrubble Bubble on very low health, but they have a slight advantage. And with the null command to slow as well, Thinking Men in it for the long haul very clearly. A lot on site though, if you just clear this out a little bit. And you have one shock dart to do it, but not much else. You have a paranoia. That's going to get tossed in now to initiate from lane. But Lear holding early. One for him. Vix from market can swing back and grab a second. It's just Andrew left in what seems like an impossible fight. And Anderson will guarantee it to be that way. Thinking Men get to 10.
There's a new challenger now. With the scoreline difference only being by 2. Resonate now have to introduce themselves to pressure. Remember, this is the biggest tournament they've ever played. If they lose the next 3 rounds in a row, they face down to elimination, and all the hard work they've come to up until this point will be lost. That's a scary, scary place to be in now. And this is allowing Thinking Men to get some extra aggression towards mid. Look at this double group up, though. This is going to be a crunch in mid early on. No. Not nearly as aggressive as I thought it would be. Not the change of pace, especially on a broken buy. It's a fast exec in.
Conti's ahead of this. Paint can't win the fight. And the barrier orb is such perfect timing. First 2 slain. And Thinking Men are stuck. Reformed, easy check, but Velis can't win that fight. So Thinking Men might sway their way again now too. Reformed holding again against Conti. Andrew only good for 1. Thinking Men, they can make this work. Unless Kaho saves the day. A lockdown, so Thinking Men can play for time if they want to, but they'll play for the fight instead. That Vix will win. Thinking Men somehow keep this party going.
Oh.
Don't forget that.
Now, will this go to overtime? Is the big question. It very well could. This has just been a back and forth now. Thinking Men, they've unlocked something. And I think that's just getting their morale back. There hasn't been many major strategic changes. Not even necessarily playing off the mistakes of Resonate either. Resonate, they keep switching things up, changing up the tempo so Thinking Men cannot adapt. 3 stack now on A. And this alone might be messing up Resonate. They're playing too many different places at once, reconvening different strats that may not work. Big flash, a huge entry in, and Andrew, it's up to you.
This is overwhelming Heaven presence from the backside, and that is all they need to again deal with the opening crowd. Not smoked out, not sprayed down. And now Resonate can enact that same punishment.
Rotate.
If
Huge.
only they found the time. But bye-bye, Vix. Reformed has opened up B site and is now up to market. How far will he be willing to go? Oh, he's gonna check this. He's gonna check.
Oh.
Back site. Oh, but into CT. The TP that Velis will finalize with. And so it is Vix, who is still coming from T. And that's gotta be the giveaway. No way he's not going to B site here.
He's going to try to make this exodus over to A site. There is that alarm bot deep in tree. That's the only info gathering near Vix. A turret too. The slowest crawl I've ever seen. The pressure mounting. No one's watching A site. No one's watching tree. Everyone's holding each other's backs. Everyone's feeling the pressure now.
Yeah.
If Vix can get this spike down and get 2 kills, the 1v1 would be the Hunter's Fury.
He will not tempt fate to CT. Instead, he close the door. Guarantee hell. Stick the spike. Now, where do you go? You go right next to door. Drop down. And Conti finalizes it.
Can't use this yet.
Ooh.
Just enough to scrape by.
No, you don't deserve
But it is a victory
Defenders win.
for Resonate, and therefore it will be a map 3 in the upper bracket for Resonate.
I think if you ask literally anybody going into this matchup if this would go to map 3, they would not agree. This would have been an easy 2-0 for Thinking Men, but Resonate, again, they are the team that have done such a good flawless run, and here they are.
Yeah, they clearly have done their homework enough, and it will match up against Thinking Men, who continue to not be able to perform. That's their second 11-13 on Ascent in a row in the Challengers level, which is a shame. But their third map that they won against TWT to get that 1 win, that third map was Bind. That's where we're headed to. Do the Challengers stay Challengers on top, or will they fight for their lives in the lower bracket against the Glazers, who just got beat by Blinn? Yeah, we've already done this song and dance once. Do we see underdogs or favorites on top? We find out after the break. Don't go anywhere.